What if I told you that 99% of preppers are making a deadly mistake that could leave their families in complete darkness when disaster strikes? In the next 12 minutes, you'll discover the critical backup power strategies that seasoned preppers overlook, learn how to calculate your exact power needs, and get a complete blueprint for keeping your home running when the grid goes down for days, weeks, or even months. Miss this and you could find yourself helpless when everyone else is scrambling in the dark. Welcome to Crisis Horizon, where we prepare you for what's coming. If this video saves your family during the next blackout, smash that like button and subscribe for more life-saving prep strategies. Here's the harsh reality most preppers refuse to face. Having a few power banks and a small generator isn't going to cut it when the grid stays down for weeks. I've seen seasoned preppers with rooms full of food storage and enough ammunition to supply a small army. But when you ask them about their backup power plan, they point to a single portable battery that might charge their phone twice. This isn't just about convenience. When the power goes out, it's not just your Netflix that stops working. Your toilet stops flushing if you're on a septic system with an electric pump. Your well water stops flowing. Your refrigerated medications start spoiling. And if you're one of the millions of Americans who rely on a CPAP machine or oxygen concentrator to sleep, you're looking at a life-threatening situation within hours. But here's what really keeps me up at night. Most people think their biggest threat during a blackout is the darkness. Wrong. Your biggest threat is becoming a target. When everyone else's house is dark and yours is the only one with lights blazing through every window, you might as well put up a neon sign that says, "We have power and supplies." That's not preparedness, that's painting a bullseye on your family. The truth is, your backup power plan needs to be invisible, sustainable, and redundant. And most importantly, it needs to be tested and ready before disaster strikes, not something you figure out when the lights go out. So let's start with the foundation, understanding what you actually need to power. Most people approach this completely backwards. They buy the biggest generator they can afford and then hope it covers everything. That's like buying a car before you know where you need to drive. Instead, you need to think in terms of priority levels. Essential systems are non-negotiable. These keep you alive. We're talking about medical equipment, basic lighting, and communication devices. If you're on a well, your water pump becomes essential. If you live in extreme climates, some form of heating or cooling might be essential too. Then you have highly desirable systems. Refrigeration tops this list. A standard full-size refrigerator consumes between 1.5 and 3 kilowatt hours per day. That might not sound like much, but when you're running on limited backup power, that's enormous. Consider this. A 2,000 watt-hour power station, which costs around $2,000, would run your fridge for maybe 24 hours, and that's if you're not running anything else. Here's a smarter approach. Get a mini fridge or chest freezer for your most critical items. These use about half the energy of full-size units. Even better, consider a DC refrigerator. They're pricier up front, but they're incredibly efficient. Some can run 24/7 on a single LiFePO4 battery with a DC adapter, perfect for medications or your most essential food items. Now let's talk about the energy vampires that will drain your backup power faster than you can say grid down. Heating and cooling systems are the absolute worst. Even if your home runs on natural gas, the fans and electronic controls need electricity, often 400 watts or more. Run that continuously and you're looking at 10 kilowatt hours per day minimum. That's enough to drain most backup power systems in less than 12 hours. This is why smart preppers have alternate heating and cooling strategies. For heating, think fireplaces, wood stoves, or portable propane heaters like the Mr. Buddy series. For cooling, evaporative coolers, especially small personal units, can provide relief without destroying your power budget. You can even build DIY versions that are surprisingly effective. But here's the critical part most people miss. You need to know your exact power consumption before you buy any equipment. Don't guess, don't estimate based on manufacturer specs. Measure it yourself. Get yourself a power meter, something like a Tapo watt meter or kilowatt meter. These cost less than $30 and they'll give you real-time and cumulative energy usage data. Plug your appliances in and monitor them over a full day. You'll be shocked at what you discover. That energy-efficient LED TV might actually be pulling 150 watts even when it's off, thanks to all the smart features running in the background. Here's another strategy that can save you thousands. Focus on powering one room instead of your entire house. Pick a room that can be easily secured and blacked out so no light escapes. Move your essential items there. This approach conserves energy and enhances your security profile. Now, once you know what you need to power and how much energy it consumes, you can start building your actual backup power system. And here's where most people make their second critical mistake. They rely on a single solution. Single points of failure will get you killed in a real emergency. The pros use what I call a multi-layer defense strategy. This isn't cheap, we're talking about $4,000 to $5,000, but it's silent, reliable, and can run your critical systems for days. Your secondary power source is for recharging your primary system and running high-demand appliances during the day when noise isn't as much of a concern. This is where a quality inverter generator comes in. The Predator series from Harbor Freight offers excellent value here. Yes, generators are noisy and they burn fuel, but they're also incredibly efficient at recharging large battery banks. Your tertiary power source consists of smaller, portable power stations dedicated to specific devices. Keep one for your communications gear, routers, laptops, radios. Keep another for medical equipment. This redundancy means that even if your primary system fails, you still have power for your most critical needs. And here's the game changer: solar panels. Even a modest 400-watt solar array can extend your backup power capabilities indefinitely. During the day, solar charges your batteries. At night, you run on stored power. It's the closest thing to energy independence you can achieve without spending a fortune on a whole house system. But what if you don't have $5,000 to spend on a power station? What if you're working with a tight budget or limited space? Here are some alternatives that actually work. First, consider used or refurbished power stations from reputable brands. EcoFlow, Bluetti, and Jackery equipment holds its value and reliability even when used. Just avoid the no-name brands that might fail exactly when you need them most and require hazardous waste disposal when they die. Second, your car can become a generator. Connect a quality inverter to your car battery and run an extension cord into your house. This isn't a long-term solution because of fuel consumption and noise, but it can keep essential systems running during short-term outages. Third, assemble what I call a lights-out kit for situations where you have no backup power at all. LED lanterns, flashlights, batteries, a portable radio, basic first aid supplies, and enough no-cook food to last several days. This won't power your house, but it ensures you have the basics to survive until power is restored or help arise. And here's the game changer: solar panels. Even a modest 400-watt solar array can extend your backup power capabilities indefinitely. During the day, solar charges your batteries. At night, you run on stored power. It's the closest thing to energy independence you can achieve without spending a fortune on a whole house system. Now, let me walk you through a real-world example of how this all comes together. I know a family in Texas who invested in the comprehensive backup power system after the 2021 winter storm knocked out their power for 8 days. They installed a transfer switch connected to an EcoFlow Delta Pro power station. This powers their well pump, refrigerator, and master bedroom circuit. They added 400 watts of solar panels to keep the power station charged during extended outages. For backup, they have a Predator inverter generator that can recharge the power station in about 4 hours of runtime. They also keep smaller power stations dedicated to specific purposes. One for their internet router and communications equipment, another for medical devices, and a third for their home security system. For heating, they installed a propane fireplace that doesn't require electricity. For cooking, they have a solar oven and propane camp stove. The total investment was around $8,000, but during the last ice storm, while their neighbors were without power for 5 days, they maintained normal operations. Their well pump kept water flowing, their food stayed fresh, and they could monitor outside conditions through their security system. More importantly, their house looked dark from the outside, so they didn't attract unwanted attention. But here's what really makes this system brilliant. They test it monthly. On the first Saturday of every month, they flip their main breaker and run on backup power for 4 hours. This regular testing ensures everything works when they need it, and it helps them identify problems before emergencies strike. Testing is absolutely critical. I can't tell you how many preppers have discovered during actual outages that their generator won't start, their power station is dead, or their transfer switch was wired incorrectly. The time to find these problems is during practice, not during disasters. Regular maintenance is just as important. Rotate your stored fuel using fuel stabilizers. Keep your battery systems charged. Check all your connections. And when batteries or power stations reach end of life, dispose of them properly as hazardous waste. Never throw lithium batteries in regular trash. Now, I want to address security concerns, because this is where many preppers get sloppy. During widespread blackouts, especially those lasting more than 72 hours, desperate people start looking for resources. A house with visible lights, generator noise, or other signs of power becomes a target. Use blackout curtains or move your activities to interior rooms. Run generators only during daylight hours when the noise blends with normal daytime sounds. Switch to silent power stations after dark. If you must use lights, use red filtered flashlights that preserve night vision and are less visible from outside. Consider this. In Venezuela, during their extended power outages, homes with backup power were specifically targeted by armed groups.
The same thing happened in Puerto Rico after Hurricane Maria. Having power during widespread outages can literally make you a target, so operational security isn't optional. Here's the bottom line. Every family's backup power needs are different. A rural homestead with a well and septic system has different requirements than an urban apartment. A family with medical equipment dependencies faces different challenges than healthy individuals. The key is identifying your specific needs and building layered solutions that match your situation and budget. Start with the basics: lighting, communications, and medical equipment if applicable. Then add refrigeration, water systems, and comfort items as your budget and capabilities allow. Remember that having some backup power is infinitely better than having none, but having backup power that fails when you need it most can be worse than having none at all. Your backup power plan could mean the difference between your family thriving or suffering when the lights go out. The best time to prepare for a blackout is right now, while the power is still on and you can research, test, and practice with your systems. Don't wait until it's too late. Start planning your backup power strategy today, because when disaster strikes, it's too late to prepare. Thanks for watching Crisis Horizon. Hit that subscribe button for more life-saving preparedness strategies. And remember, hope for the best, but prepare for the worst.